Quais as características mais marcantes do setor de serviços financeiros e como isso se relaciona com a adoção da tecnologia? Qual a diferença entre os desafios e as oportunidades em diferentes regiões do globo e como isso se traduz no panorama da tecnologia do setor para o futuro? Saiba isso e muito mais agora, nesse episódio imperdível do Data Circle Podcast.
Bem-vindos e bem-vindas ao Data Circle Podcast, nosso podcast sobre AI e negócios, onde a teoria encontra a prática.
Salve, salve, membros do Data Circle, a nossa comunidade que une a tecnologia com os negócios. Estamos aqui para mais um episódio do Data Circle Podcast. Hoje um episódio com um formato um pouco diferente para quem está aí querendo treinar o inglês. Hoje temos um convidado internacional aqui, o Joffrey Martinez, lead global de Financial Services da Artefact, veio aqui conversar um pouquinho sobre o setor com a gente, e junto com a gente também, Pedro Lauand, que já participou outras vezes aí. E aí, Pedrão, tudo bem?
Olá, tudo jóia, tudo bem, muito feliz aqui de estar com vocês.
So I'm switching to English to introduce you, Joffrey. If you can say something about you, like your background a little bit.
Hi, sorry for the English. So I cannot make it in Portuguese. I understand I understand a little bit the introduction, but sorry, I can't say much. So very happy to be here. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Victor. Indeed, I'm Joffrey Martinez, French, as my name does not mention it. So living in Paris and managing financial services globally for Artefact.
Good. So, Joffrey, let's begin with our talking about the financial services. And we can begin with the global landscape about the financial services, like an overview of the financial services and comparing major regions, like the differences between Europe, North America, and South America, and Asia, and also the difference and also the things that they have in common. Like more broader overview to begin with the conversation.
If we start with the AI landscape in the financial services, we can. It's hard to do compare. It's tough to do comparison, but we can divide the world into main areas. I would say the first one could be the US, North America, mostly. If you look a bit at the numbers, more than a third of global revenue worldwide is in the US, and the US banks have invested like massively, like aggressively in AI, in data, in agentic AI too. JP Morgan is probably top of the top on this topic. Then. So first the US with major bank and regional banks. Then you do have, I would say, Europe and Asia. It's not a different story, but they are both very advanced. And if you look at the numbers again, it's a bit behind the US in terms of investment, but Europe and Asia are more or less the same. The way to address it is very different, very, very different. Huge attention in Europe in regulation, in protection of the customer, more than in Asia. And if we look at topic in AI and data in Europe, I would say that they are very good in customer relationship. They start to be really good in fraud, leveraging AI. And on the other side, in Asia, if you look at China, for instance, they are very, 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 very good in fintech. They have, if you look at, for instance, probably one of the most advanced fintech of the world, which is Ping Han, it's an insurance company. They have, I don't know the exact number, but they have more than 1,000 patents in tech. So it's like crazy advanced in AI. Then I will do, let's say, another buckets. with Latin America and Middle East. It's a bit smaller in terms of investment in AI, but they grow really, really, really fast, like crazy fast. If you look at, for instance, Latin America, Brazil is probably one of the most advanced country in terms of fraud detection, fraud phishing prevention, and Itaú is probably one of the best in this field. So they invested a lot, and JP Morgan released a survey saying that the potential in the next decade in the region is more than $100 billion in Latin America. Middle East, huge investment too, to be at the same level of the other countries, and last but not least, Africa are investing a lot too, and they're focused very much in inclusion. How can I make sure that all the population are, let's say, covered financially? So, sorry, quick overview, but some trends. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's interesting because like the main topics are very different alongside the regions, and it makes sense because the regions are also different. And I think some of the topics that you covered, like Brazil's being a reference in fraud, is well known.
To protect fraud,
for the fraudulent
right.
people, and also for the guys that are needing to protect the other people from the.
It's a police and thief game. So at the end of the day, if the thief are really good, the police has to be very good.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think we came from a history of high inflation.
Yeah, sure.
And then super high inflation in the beginning of the 90s. And that gave to us a high rate of bankering, people with bank accounts, because you had to have your money in the bank, otherwise you lose money.
Yeah, sure.
And which is different from other countries, for example, in Latin America. Like if you compare Brazil to Mexico, there is an important gap in Mexico in terms of people with bank accounts and leveraging like electronic payments and so on.
Sure.
So it's part of the history, but I think because of that, we also have like maybe more people with credit cards and etc. So more fraud. And this type of situations. And I think it could be similar, the situation of other countries of Latin America with Middle East, as you said.
Sure.
Because it's a really new country in many aspects, but in terms of economy.
I agree.
So
growing countries.
Yeah. So a lot of new people, new consumers that are basically migrating to work there and starting the life there.
Yeah.
So I think it's a fair analysis that you bring.
But in the same time, also like inside, as you mentioned, the difference between Brazil and Mexico, also in Europe. The difference between, I don't know, UK and Germany. Like in Germany, it's very common to pay things in cash, like cash. And in the UK, they are much more like prone to use credit cards and so on.
That's why it's very tough to draw like some specificity, because you're absolutely right. Mexico is not Brazil. UK is not Paris. Just concrete example here. When you do a loan in France to buy your house, you have like a fixed rate for 20 years, 25 years, depends. It's very French specific stuff. If you go to the UK, you don't have a fixed rate. Your rate will evolve. If there is inflation, the rate will evolve. And you don't approach the market the same way, because there's some huge differences. And UK and France are really close. And you're right, some countries there is more cash. Some countries are cashless. If you look at Africa, for instance, they pay a lot with the mobile, for instance. So it's changed the way to address this topic. Absolutely right.
Nice.
Yeah, and like taking the topic of AI here, like we covered a little bit of the broader vision and broader overview of the country and the financial services in globally, but what is about the AI adoption and AI use in the financial services alongside the globe as well? Like, what are the differences and also similarities?
Yeah, it's a good question. I would say first, it's not new. I mean, it's not new everywhere. I mean, AI is not a new topic in financial services. I mean, let's say, a lot of expert business unit in financial services have used AI for a while now. Quant with algorithm, for instance. When you modelized a risk in insurance, I mean, it's AI powered for a long time ago. What is new, actually, is the fact that it's outside experts topic right now. I mean, this is a real paradigm shift. You will find AI mostly everywhere, and in all the business units, in insurance, in bank, retail, IB. And if we want to, we can separate actually the world, I would say, into three main categories. The first one is all the AI topic related to what we can call like efficiency, like how can I be more efficient? How can I reduce the time to issue a loan? We talked about the loan 5 minutes ago. How can I reduce the time to manage my claim in insurance? There's a lot of topic to be more efficient. So this is the first, I'd say, the first category. The second is how can I grow? How can I improve my revenue? How can I sell more product? How can I push to you guys the right product at the right time, at the right moment? You have a son, you just get married, so maybe we need a loan. So I'll try to push the best offer for you because I know that, because I know you. So my scoring model are really good, so I can push you the right product. How? So this is the second topic to grow, and there's a third one. It's very financial services related. It's how can I protect this institution, because this is systemic companies at the end of the day. So how can I protect? It's very regulated sector. So how can I optimize my anti-money laundering model? How can I optimize my fraud? We mentioned it earlier. So basically, most of the use cases in financial services are into this, let's say, these three categories. And back to your question on adoption, I would say it's very empiric observation, but I do see more topic in optimization of the cost to serve, so cost reduction and protection. I would say for several reasons. The first one is probably easier to measure the return on investment on this topic. The second is sometimes you don't have the choice. I mean, you have to put anti-money laundering system in place. I mean, you have no choice. I mean, it's the regulation. So at some point, because you have to, and because probably it's easier to measure the return on investment, I would say. And yeah, I'd say that.
And related to this kind of like these three categories that you mentioned, are there some places that are more prone to adopt it, like to use it in more one way to another? Because I have the feeling that historically the specialized adoption of AI and statistics and so on, like quant and also risk and credit, those topics were covered, and the adoption was mainly because of the performance. Like they saw that the performance of a data-driven algorithm or a specific model for that was much better than one person saying which amount of credit this guy should take or not. And it was like mainly forced by the performance to be adopted. But the other topics are more like they are newer to the whole financial services, and the adoption might be a little bit different between like comparing markets.
I mean, yes and no, if I may. I mean, strategic imperative of financial services are more or less the same if you are in Brazil, France, Oman, the US. At the end of the day, sorry, it's very simple stuff, but you have to grow your revenue. You have to make sure that you comply to the regulation, and you have to optimize your cost to serve to have the highest return on equity. It's very, I mean, I simplified a lot. Sorry for that, but at the end of the day, AI, it's a mean. It's not the end game. I mean, AI will help insurance, wealth management, bank, or whatever actor in the financial services to achieve strategic imperatives. So it's more or less similar. Of course, you will put some, for instance, in Europe, there's a huge focus on the cost to serve, on the optimization. Why? Because return on equity tend to decrease. So it's very tough in financial services to anticipate the growth of revenue. It's really tough to tell, all right, my revenue will be X or Y in 1 or 2 years. It's very tough. But it's less, I mean, it's easier to play on the cost part, because the cost part you can master it more easier than the revenue. So huge focus on cost to serve. I mean, most of the major banks in Europe are launching cost saving plan right now. So a lot of topics related to AI, and they are launched a lot of topics related to cost to serve for that reason. Again, I do see the same in Africa. In Africa, we worked a lot with Morocco. Morocco, the same. Most of the projects we launch are related to cost to serve. Switzerland, the same. Indonesia, it's a bit more balanced. A lot of topics related to how can I acquire new customer. So revenue, because huge market in Indonesia. So and huge competition too. So how can I be more aggressive to capture new clients? Because it's a very, very growing market compared to Europe, for instance. Yeah.
I see. I know I was, and when you say cost to serve, there are cases, or most of the cases, where you're basically trying to leverage efficiency from more the back office of those institutions. But sometimes you do work together in the middle or in the front office to get this type of efficiency as well, right? Because when you are perhaps developing a model to help on the risk management, just to giving a topic that's not back office, you could at the same time develop a better or bring a better margin, direct margin, because you're having the same product, but at the same time you could have less people involved in that process, right?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, absolutely. And if I may, I think it could be a mistake to separate front, middle, and back. The way I prefer seeing the problem is thinking about one function, one main function, one main journey. It works too, but and if you really want to have return on investment, real impact on your P&L at the end of the day, you have to think at, all right, how can I reshape a function? Not only the back office, not only the middle office, not only the front to back. Concrete example here, we work on a major bank in Europe to reshape the journey of granted a loan. How can I issue a loan? It was a bit more than 15 days, right? Okay, the 15 days, you go to the bank. Okay, I need a loan for buying a flat. Okay, I study your case, and I'll tell you yes or no. Right? It was 15 days. The ideas, I mean, we save 5 days because we totally reshape the way it works, from the back office to the middle office, to how can I collect the document, how can I analyze the document, and of course AI, GenAI, agentic AI help a lot to save time. But at the end of the day, if you just put some tech on top of the process, you will save like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever. But at the end of the day, you don't have impact on your P&L. So absolutely, I mean, I agree with you. It's more journey or more process oriented if you want. You have to be more process oriented if you want to have like proper result, I guess.
Yeah, that seems interesting because thinking like that, you focus on the product vision and also the customer journey, as you mentioned, and not only in the tech, like in a small piece of the whole process, which might be evolved, but the whole process can be evolved as well, like or at least reshaped, as you mentioned. Like the processes doesn't need to be the same if you have the possibility like to use the new technology to reshape the process and like optimize not only A, B, or C, but having only A to D directly.
Even better. Yeah. No, agree. I mean, tech is not the end goal. I mean, tech help us to do so.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you have to think like process. How can I reshape my process? How can I optimize my process? How can I be better for to acquire new clients? And yes, AI, Gen AI, Data&AI is like really good tools, but really, really good. And it helps a lot and it works very well. But at the end of the day, if you don't change the way you work, the way you address project or loan, in this case, you will save like five minutes. Yeah, it's good, but it's not the end game, I think.
Good.
You know, I'm happy with the overall perspective, but I think it's nice as well to maybe start to divide the perspective on the different subsectors, because they are very different. Like an insurance company is a completely different company of a retail bank or versus an investment bank and so on. And I know that you have walked through a couple of different institutions, so maybe you have some perspective. I would imagine not 100% of the perspective, because
I would love to, but
But how do you see this AI evolution, and what are the new possibilities for these different sub-industries in that sense? And divide the sector as you wish.
All right, this is a tough one. Let's try. Let's try to divide the world on financial services. I would put first retail banking. Why retail? Because it's probably the more advanced in AI for several reasons. Because, I mean, you do have huge number. In retail, you have millions of clients, and you have a lot of FTEs working in retail. I mean, I'm not talking about digital company working in retail, but I'm talking about like real retail bank. Right. And they started long time ago. We talk about it like in the beginning, but huge number, a lot of use cases in AI and data with visible return on investment, not so complicated because of the volume. It's a volume business. So at the end of the day, it's.
And I would say that it's a business that at the same time has evolved with AI for a long time, but from the other side, it's still very personnel driven, like in many aspects, right? I of course we are seeing less dependency of physical agencies and so on, but it's still, right? So and that's why there's a lot of room for improvement.
A lot. Let's take 5 minutes if you want. Like, it's a good point on retail. Maybe 5 minutes won't be enough, but
no, let's go.
This is not true in every region because there's some differences in the level of maturity, but you're absolutely right. When you look at retail, again, I'm not talking about New Bank or Revolut or this kind of player, but real bank, Itaú, Banco do Brasil, BNP Paribas, whatever, name it. they all have physical agency, call center, and they all invested in digital, basically. Main issue here is the same issue you have in retail, real retail like 10 years ago. How can I make sure that if you start your journey online, for instance, you subscribe an insurance or whatever product online, if you have to drop for several reasons, I don't know, like whatever the reason you have to drop, and you don't finish the journey, how can I make sure that the call center will call you? Or how can I make sure that your advisor, because maybe you are already a client, will call you back? And we know that if it's an insurance company, an insurance product, if the insurance or the bank don't call you within the hour, you have like more than 80% chance of losing the contract.
For another player.
Exactly. So we as Artefact worked a lot on how can I make sure that I can do like the proper omni-channel journey, leveraging, I mean, we can deep dive, but leveraging like customer data platform, this kind of tools. But at the end of the day, changing the way we work too, because again, the CDP is just a tool, very helpful tool, but it won't change the way the bank is working. So this is a huge area in retail banking. And this, I mean, behind this is all the topic of scoring. How can I put the right product? We talked about it earlier, but the right product to the right moment at the right time, and very important, in the right channel. Maybe Pedro, you prefer an email. Maybe Victor, you prefer I don't know, like a chat. Maybe I prefer a call, whatever. But the bank has to know that if they want to improve the level of transformation, the degree of transformation. So yeah, this is huge area in retail, definitely. Huge other area in retail are all the topic related to customer relationship. I mean, this has changed a lot with AI and Gen AI. It's very, very different way to approach customer relationship. I mean, let me maybe develop a little bit this. What is the good customer relation in the bank without Gen AI? For me, it's a bank who works. I mean, works pretty well, available, and expert. If I have like question on, I don't know, which this such product, I want to have an answer. I don't know, I have a small sum of money. What can I do with this like sum of money? This kind of stuff, right? Basically, this is the three stuff. And when Gen AI arrived, 2022 with ChatGPT, something changed for me. It's okay. It put a new standard in customer relationship. I mean, my mother, my parents using ChatGPT every day, so they know how it works. They know the standard of exchange that you can have with this tool. The same for client in the bank. I mean, if you call the bank and the guy is not here, or is not available, or he don't know the answer, I mean, it's an issue. It's an issue. And if you look at the banks, sorry for my friend in retail banking, but product and services are more and more commoditized. It's basically this. Yeah. It's not exactly true, but there are a lot of similarities between banks. So having like being super good in customer relationship is a way to be different from the competitor. So that's why, I mean, there's a lot of investment in self-care, in chatbot to help you to answer question, and I did see a lot of project, and we did a lot of project related to customer relationship. So huge investment for me in this specific area. New clients, leveraging all the channel, and customer relationship, probably two are the biggest area of investment, I would say, in retail. If I have to be a bit, if I have to simplify a little bit. So I would say first retail. Then insurance is quite similar, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Quite similar. Mostly B2C. I'm thinking about B2C insurance. Basically, same issue, multi-channel topic, customer relationship topic too, and reduce the time for main journey, such as claim management. I mean, huge investment. If you look at insurance, they invest a lot in customer relationship and claim management, on the whole cycle of claim management. It's a topic of cost reduction, but it's also, it's very important for me, a topic of client satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even more true, I guess, in insurance, because I mean, if you declare an issue in the insurance, I mean, you are probably in a stress because something happened to whatever, your house or your car or whatever. So there's more anxiety when you talk about insurance. So all the investment and think when you reshape a journey is, how can I put where should I put the human at the best place on the journey? The idea is not to be full automatized in most of the model. The idea is to put the people at the right place, not everywhere. So huge investment for me in insurance on that. So second, insurance. Then I would say IB, investment banking. Again, it's I mean, there's a lot of different topic in IB. It's an expert game, IB. I mean, it's, when you look at M&A, for instance, it's basically the same job as we do, guys, as a consultant.
Yeah.
It's very similar. So it's tougher to replicate comparing to retail, because it's not a number business, but it's an expert business.
Mm-hmm.
So you do have some very strong pocket of investment, but more niche comparing to retail. You can improve a lot of processes too. When you talk about credit is also, I mean, processes are tough too. When you look at IB, compliance are sometimes very paper driven. If you look in IB, so you have like a lot of time to save in KYC, for instance. You can automatize a lot of the KYC process in IB. So IB, I didn't talk about wealth management.
Mm-hmm.
Wealth management is, I would say, between retail and IB,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because you do have volume, less volume, but you do have volume. But it's very interpersonal business. So the banker has his own clients and like managing his own client directly.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you can do a lot of improvements in all the process, from the RM, relationship manager, to KYC, to all the back office topic we talk about it. So it's basically same project as retail, but with low volume at the end of the day.
And there is, and also in a very smaller scale in wealth management, in a higher scale when you think about certain institutions, all the asset allocation discussions and so on.
Absolutely.
And that's something I think like early adopter in many senses, but it's generating some crazy behaviors in the market right now, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like algorithm trading and so on and so forth. Like there are several topics that are AI related and also began with the investment per se. But yeah, it's...
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they are very relevant and related to investment banking and wealth management, but investment as a whole topic.
But 100% agree. And if we look at all the value chain we go very fast on retail, IB, insurance, wealth. I mean, there are like hundreds of use cases. I mean, there's like tons of use cases. And if you want to be like, if I can share a secret, I really don't think the value is here. I mean, basically, all our clients know more or less the top 15 use cases on their own business. And for me, the value is more, okay, where should I put, which one is maybe, where should I put more focus and in the proper delivery? How can I succeed in the delivery? I mean, and how can I make sure that it works at scale with proper result and so on? So yes, of course, it's very important to have the good use cases to launch, but for me, the value is a bit less on that and maybe more on, all right, I have the good one and it worked for real.
Yeah, if I may add on top of what you said, like maybe the amount of use cases is also making things a little bit more difficult than if there were only one use case, and then you don't have to choose.
Absolutely,
Like,
absolutely.
you just go for it. But like the prioritization process and like to estimate how much value a defined use case can bring back and prioritize a chain of use cases that could be developed, and things are evolving so fast that you prioritize like 3 use cases or like 5 use cases for 1 year, and the next year you need to reprioritize because there are new tech coming and new opportunities coming as well. Like if we were talking about that in off yesterday, me and Joffrey, but if you'll do like a 5-year roadmap for nowadays, like it's completely out of date, like in 1 year, like you need to do it again.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I really do agree. What I observed, by the way, is we had like a lot of projects related to AI strategy. Like how can I relaunch my new AI strategy? It was the case 2 or 3 years ago, and now mostly actually in insurance company, but like a lot of new AI strategy, not for okay, what is the 100 use cases we need? It's not for that. It's more to make sure that okay, we have identified the most important area of value. Customer relationship probably is one of them. Claim management is one of them, and more important to make sure that all the companies or business unit depends focus the energy where it's important for the company. The idea is not to do like several use cases, is to identify the right use cases, we mentioned it, and to make sure that these use cases are aligned with our strategy. For instance, big bank we work with are huge focus, on cost to serve. So every single use cases are prioritized on the cost they can save for the company. So yes, the AI strategy is very important. You're right. I mean, it's evolving very fast. Agentic AI changed a lot of stuff on the equation, but most important to me is to make sure that AI strategy help to focus where there is value and focus all the energy of the staff who's working on this, I guess.
And in ideal world where you have your client aligning to this vision, what have you seen as a, and doesn't need to be one company specific, but what have you seen as a benchmark in terms of operating model to leverage this as you were describing, like having being able to identify the priority area and base it on that, and assuming that this is connected to the strategy, as you said, and having a systematic way to like keep prioritizing and delivering and extracting the right value.
I don't know if I have one operating model who's working in every cases, but what I'm sure is as soon as you manage use cases by value, it's changed everything. Yeah. It changes everything. And when I mention managing by value is when you select use cases, every use cases has, on paper has to have a big case, but a real big case first. Then you choose, prioritize, the use case according to the big case and according to your strategy. I mean, again, it can be like very good use cases to acquire new clients, but maybe this is not your strategy. Yep. It's possible. I mean, your only focus could be how can I optimize my margin. So don't waste time doing so. So it could happen. So first, how can I first select with a lot of caution your use cases by business case, and then you talk about it, but manage, govern your factory, your delivery, or whatever the name, accordingly. It means that every use cases you launch, you follow the big case, and if at some point is not working as planned, you stop. I'll give you like one quick example. Big bank we work with, we define this organization, this target operating model, and every month we have like what we call value committee, and we analyze, we see, we check all the ongoing project to make sure that we are online with the big case, we are online with the prediction, and sometimes it happens that we stop a project because we underestimate the value. Always the same, always the same case. Okay, we overestimate the value, underestimate the cost. Basic stuff. So our job is to make sure that this doesn't happen. But if it does, we stop it, or we see it differently. But again, it's company who succeed to manage use cases by value are very strict in the process of managing use cases. I mean, there is no secret here.
One topic that we mentioned like several times along the conversation until now is agentic AI, and I think it's worth it to explore a little bit deeper this technology and what it has as promise for the financial services. Like, I think it's a big promise everywhere for every sector, but since we are talking about the financial services, we can go deeply into the actionable possibilities here in the financial services, because like we began with Gen AI like 2 years ago, and it like opened a big lack of a big possibility to explore the conversation and interaction between the user and also the machine. And the agentic AI, in my opinion, enhances this possibility, enhances this opportunity to another level in terms of being a catalyst to explore the value that is behind the scenes, like not excluding, but not only you don't have anymore to have the human in the loop. You can like have intelligent agents that are deciding at least the small stuff for you, and so that the human is focusing more on the important things. But I'm letting you speak because I'm speaking
no man, good. Don't worry. And I do agree. Well, I mean, agentic AI it's like, how can I say? It's like football. I mean, everyone has an opinion on agentic AI. I don't know. You can be more, Flamengo, Santos, Paris, whatever. You have an opinion on what is agentic AI. What is it? What does it change? And I agree. I mean, promising a huge. I would say it's the beginning. So I will not overpromised, but yes, agree on what you have said. It's very, very, very big change. And if we now try to be a bit more concrete, and if we look at our clients, company we are working with, I see two different topic within Gen AI. I see topic related to what we can call, let's say, daily productivity. You agent will help you to save time on daily tasks. For instance, you will save time in KYC. I have a concrete example in mind in KYC for wealth management. We mentioned wealth management. There's a formula named 1042S. Sorry, it's a bit barbarian, but and the goal of this formula is to declare all financial assets you have in the US for non-US resident. For instance, if you are investing in the US and you're Brazilian, you are French, you have to. I mean, the banker has to declare it. It's very tough to populate. It's very long, so you can automatize a lot of small tasks on the 1042As. So basic daily productivity, right? Like agent, and then there is in agentic all the topic about, we mentioned it, reshape function. How can I reshape function leveraging agentic AI? We talked about earlier the how can I save time to granted a loan. I mentioned the target is to save 5 days. With agentic AI, I mean, we can be much more aggressive because a lot of tasks could be even more automatized. If you forget to provide me as a bank, I don't know, your tax of last year because I need it to issue a loan, I can send you a mail automatically with agent because I have analyzed it and I say, okay, it missed this document, so I'll send an email to Victor to make sure I receive it. I mean, it could be, it's not tough to automatize this task. So we really do see these two forms of, I would say, of agentic AI. Most of the company have started in the daily productivity, and which is not bad actually, because it will not have an impact on your P&L at the end of the day. But my conviction here is it will help you to foster adoption, because if you select the right process, the right, let's say, processes, if you save like 15, 20, 1 hour of time of your relationship manager in wealth management, for instance, I mean, there is no way that the guy will not use it. I'm sure. I mean, and it worked. It worked very well. It works. So it foster adoption, and it's for me like kind of an entry point within agentic AI. And then there's the topic of reshape function, and we talked about it earlier. It's not a topic of technology at first. It's a topic of how can I reshape the function. So we do both. We see both. Most of the time we start with daily and then go to reshape. And what I see also is the second part, the reshape topic, are very top down. It's very C-level oriented. It's all right, the head of retail, head of wealth, head of, let's say, a claim. Say, all right, this process for me is key. This process is a nightmare. It's very, I don't know, people intensive. I don't know how to save time, and I see a lot of room for improvement. So I want to focus on one or two main processes. So very top down. And talking about the promises, I don't think like the huge saving, if we're talking about it, will be in the next 2 or 3 months. No, but I think there's a huge value to start now, because the more you will work with agents, the more you will see that it will change the way we collaborate, kind of human AI. The human AI collaboration will change. It will change a lot of stuff in the day-to-day work. So it will take time. This is my guess. It will take time, but I think the sooner you start, the faster you will have like this results.
It means like it's a paradigm change in terms of what is the role of the human in the loop. Like you do not need to spend your time doing like operational tasks so much as it was used to. So you can focus a little bit more on the key questions on what should be done.
This exactly what I think. Yeah, definitely. This is exactly what I think. The philosophical question behind is, what about the employment? I mean, do you think that it will cut job or not cut jobs? I really agree on what you just said. It will change the way we work. Sure, 100% sure. And for me, it would be less daily routine topic and more supervised topic. And if we try to think of what what would be the impact on the job, if I may, like to a comparison, if you look like in 1890, something like this, if you look at the bank and how do I say in English, guy who counts, people who do like
the bookkeeper.
Yes, exactly, the bookkeeper. Thank you. I don't know if it's a proper word, but yes, the bookkeeper was doing like tons of manual jobs, right? In a lot of papers, and then arrive 80, 90, something like this, like the machine to calculate automatically. And at the end of the day, these guys still exist, and the machine help to free up some time to do other stuff, analysis, thinking about strategy, optimize the risk. So it's changed the way we work. I think it will be the same for agentic AI. More supervision, for sure, because at the end of the day, we have to keep, you're right, human in the loop. And probably we will need more skills to understand what we call earlier function, to reshape it, because I'm sure most of the function will be reshaped. Will be shaped, not in a month, not in 2 months, but in the year to come. I think.
One question from my side in that topic is, you mentioned like the daily productivity as I understand, let's say a smaller scale use case, because you are basically applying to an activity or a group of, Then you have the process scale or the functional scale, as you're saying, with the reshape of the function. And of course, it should be more. It's a larger scale in that sense. But we are starting to see, or maybe to get the challenge from some clients in order to say, okay, but how do I reshape my business? Like it's a broader vision, and just to make sure that get your perspective, because it could be just a group of reshaping functions, as like you can reshape one or you can reshape tons, but I don't know if you have had any conversation regarding like a larger scale of a transformation in that sense, and if there is any tip of for people like if wants to bring this let's say a large ambition to the organization overall.
It's a very good point. Not easy to answer, to be honest. No, but yes, we do have this kind of discussion. Definitely. I don't have like a silver bullet on this, to be honest. But what I do think is, first, you're right. This is transformational project, so it has to be managed by C-level. First of all. And if we look at all the agentic AI project we have launched, it could be from the CEO sometime. We have example within Artefact, and it started by the CEO or head of retail, insurance, or whatever. So, but C-level for sure. Then you're right. The idea is the dream could be like, okay, how can I reshape everything? But again, it's the beginning, right? It's the beginning. My recommendation would be to do both. It means that let's start to identify like top 3, 5, for whatever key processes that are very important for you. Claim management, investment strategy, like it's basically most of the time the same. If you look at the retail, if we look at IBIT, it's quite easy to identify the top journey, top function, and start doing with one or two. I mean, but doing for real, not on slides. I mean, it's really easy to do slides. I can make slides very easily. So, but do it for real, and you will see that you will have issue on to orchestrate agent because it's multi agent most of the time. You will have issue to integrate with your legacy. You will have issue with people because it's not easy to change the way you work. And if you tell someone, all right, no, the step B is useless now. I mean, it's a journey.
Yep.
It's a journey. So it's definitely a transformation program, and starting with 1, 2, or 3 main area, it's for me the very good start. And then when you learn, when you have learned, when you have failed, probably a bit, because it's not everything will work in the beginning. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think. Then you are defined a new way to collaborate between like kind of the agent. So by that time, you can be like more aggressive in terms of process, or in terms of processes, in terms of deployment, in terms of transformation. I think.
Nice. Okay. No, makes sense.
Good, guys. Like, it went very fast. Like, we have already
it's
run
over
off the time. But thank you, Joffrey, for the conversation. I think
thank you very much.
Was very, very interesting. We could also, as usual, keep talking for 2 hours.
Yeah,
3
sorry.
hours,
Yes.
but, yeah.
I'm talkative a lot. Yeah, sorry.
No. Thank you, Pedro. It was very nice to talk to you as well. And see you guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you.
Ciao.